Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Capricorn June 19, 2023. You ascent in great shape to focus on your resources and family matters today. You can feel quite blessed, which motivates you to make further improvements. Still, Saturn turns retrograde today, and its shift tends to weigh you down a little. In the months ahead, you ascent in good shape to review some of your commitments and responsibilities, mainly related to your finances, business, security, self-worth, natural talents, resources, and comfort levels. There may be delays related to some of these things or a temporary pulling back from specific projects until you come to new conclusions. These shouldn't be rushed as your perspective shifts this week. In a general sense and particularly related to money matters, it's a better period for review, editing, and reflection than it is for innovation. Your planetary co-ruler, mighty Saturn, is asleep in the heavens above as of today. On the one hand, when your ruler is asleep, it can make it feel like your whole life is on hold or that you're just focused on being more introspective. He is presently in a retrograde phase in your solar house of income and possessions, which means that you and a partner will likely be focused on how you build your wealth. Truly reflect on what role wealth plays for the two of you and how you can use the past as a benchmark for being smarter and more efficient. Talk about your passions. It is time to speak freely about what you love to do and what inspires you when Mercury in Gemini sextiles Venus in Leo. Your enthusiasm for your creative ventures will be infectious, so be gregarious about what you want to pursue in your work life. Later on, you may feel like it is time to reconsider your value systems and means for security when Saturn stations retrograde in Pisces. Saturn retrograde could be an excellent time to reconsider your budget and financial avenues to pursue opportunities that are in alignment. Just over 3 months after returning to begin his 3-year visit to your income sector, Saturn turns retrograde here today. Neptune will remain in retrograde motion here for another 2 weeks, but he too is slowing down and preparing to move into review mode and to focus more on the past, second chances and untapped income potential. It is just as the money gods are pulling back that the moon returns to your work sector to prepare for the sun's return next week. Considering your options is as important a habit to acquire as is making decisions and taking action. The planets are now aligned for this kind of process, are you? Whatever your health habits are, it's a good time to eliminate the ones you no longer need. They get in the way of the process of progress. Treat yourself to the physical pleasures of long walks and stretching your limbs, forego the cheap stimulation of processed sugars and a high-carb diet. You will enjoy the results, I promise. If financial matters have been on your mind lately, this day may bring things to a head. More opportunities to increase your nest egg are common when this vibration is happening. On the flip side, problems in this area of your life are also more pronounced. The essence of an vibration calls to you to tackle your financial life head-on and to take full responsibility for the goals you have set for yourself. Take time to strategize about this today. This is the key to getting where you want to be. While the moon will not only end the day in your work sector but just a few hours after Saturn's retrograde turn in your income sector and as the South Node moves into its last month in your career sector, it not only starts the day in a playful and creative part of your chart but aligned with the Sun to create today's new moon. With things continuing to evolve across the income, work and career fronts but all planetary activity in this fun, playful, romantic and creatively charged part of your chart ending in 9 days, this is something that needs to be embraced. It is not just the Sun that the Moon is aligned with to create today's new moon, but the asteroid Juno. It is just as the Sun and Juno, the queen of commitment and especially commitment to your relationships, reach their last weekend in your relationship sector that they have aligned and will remain aligned until they leave next week. With Mercury, the planet of communication, in his first weekend here, this is the perfect chance for new beginnings or to draw a new line in the sand. Our eyes in the sky. The Sun shares a trine with Chiron this afternoon, giving us a chance to reconnect with our true selves and heal our egos a bit. This aspect can also help us reconnect with our voice, so take some time to journal in the morning if you can. This can also help you consolidate your deepest desires with your personal image. You should be able to move through fears and self-doubt in favor of working toward personal goals. Identity and emotion combine to bring us strength and comfort. The fiery energy is putting us into high gear when it comes to motivation. It might be difficult to sleep as you look for ways to work toward a better future. Unfortunately, an opposition between Venus and Pluto threatens to undo some of the good ego work we accomplished earlier in the day. The reality of the effort that we need to put into our dreams might be magnified and bring self-doubt to the surface. If you find these issues coming on, take a step back and relax. If you work well into the night, you might suffer from burnout and begin to question yourself. Drink some herbal tea and get a good night's rest so you can get back to work in the morning. Instead of turning our emotional radar outward, we go inward. This recalibration helps us to make breakthroughs about our character and behaviors. It can even enlighten us as to why we use pattern recognition as a mechanism for safety and security. An interest in our psychological workings will also make us curious about how others tick. Yet, where our probing might ordinarily be considered intrusive, others welcome our questions now, as they are likely conducting their own personal examinations. Following this aspect, the moon enters a void period lasting until after nightfall, suggesting we avoid starting new ventures. As many of us will be asleep at this hour, we should expect pleasant dreams. We may gain subconscious insights of spiritual or moral significance, helping us to tap into our idealistic side. The emotional highs we access should linger after we wake up, and we can take these good vibes with us as we start our day. Venus speaks to how we engage with love on the material plane, while Neptune speaks to how we access transcendent, mystical, divine love. When the two link up in a harmonious aspect, we literally feel love all around us. This aspect grants us gratitude for our circumstances and makes us want to share, connect with, and give back to those who have touched our lives in a positive way. This can also be an excellent transit for listening to music or attending concerts, museums, or films. Above all, this is a time for physical relaxation and mental and emotional thankfulness. Any interpersonal struggles that UEUROVE tried to cover up float to the surface now, and UEUROLL have a hard time ignoring them under this self-reflective retro motion.